Well, it looks like I'm back. We're doing another worst to best. If you didn't watch the first worst to best, basically all I do is I take an album track list and I rank the songs based on my least favorite to my most favorite. That's the basic format. I'm doing it for Radiohead's In Rainbows today. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more worst to best every week. Let's stop stalling. Let's just get started.
You are my center when I spin away.
All right, so at number 10, we have Videotape. Already, I've seen a lot of people agree with me. A lot of people think this take is scorching hot. Okay, I remember this song being the determining factor as to why I didn't think the album was perfect on my first listen. I didn't give it that 10 out of 10 score. And I still believe this is a really weak closing track. Like, just imagine for a second that Jigsaw was the closing track instead of this. Okay, that'd be a much more fitting closing track in my opinion. To me, I feel like this song tries to build emotion, kind of building toward this climax, but the climax isn't very satisfying. It never really reaches that point. It almost feels like a non-starter. It kind of starts building and then it doesn't really reach very high heights. I just personally think if it ran a little shorter, or maybe if it was placed somewhere else in the track list, I wouldn't mind it as much. But because it doesn't really get the ball rolling at any point, it's my least favorite. All right, at number 9, we have House of Cards. And I think there's a noticeable increase in quality between Videotape and House of Cards. So if you're a huge House of Cards fan, okay, I love the song too. It happens to be at 9. I like the other songs more. I think the lead guitar part really drives the song, and Tom York provides some interesting vocal runs that keep you invested throughout the track. I think the biggest issue with this song is how long it is, because it's the longest song on the album, and it makes sure you're aware of that. Even though Weird Fishes is only like, 10 seconds shorter, this song feels significantly longer than that one. It's a pleasant, enjoyable song, but it does feel like it runs a little long, especially when you start re-listening. It's one that, are you listening to the whole thing every time? I'm not sure. At number 8, we have Reckoner, which is another one of the more chill songs on the record. And it's honestly just a nice calming experience. It feels more vocal led than House of Cards, with some of the harmonies on the track providing just pure euphoria for your ears. I think it's also more dynamic because on House of Cards, it has that guitar lead leading you through the entire, 5.5 minutes. But this, it has more dynamics to it. It has some violins that come in on the chorus, which is just killer. I get goosebumps listening to that part. I think because of how dynamic the track is, this is already more memorable than the other two I've mentioned. And honestly, I really like the song. I think it's really good. At 7, maybe controversially, I'm not sure, I have Fost, which is a much simpler, shorter, kind of interlude song. It honestly, to me, I think where it's placed on the record is perfect. It acts as a transition between the more chaotic and upbeat portion of the record to the more slow and calm portion. I honestly think the song is genius. Like, the strings that come in are a wonderful touch. The guitar that switches time signatures, it keeps you invested throughout the entire track, even if it is one of the shortest ones. With how bare bones the song is, I don't think I could justify placing it any higher than this, but I didn't want to place it too low because I do think those elements keep it really interesting. At number 6, we have Nude, which, okay, me saying that sounds wrong, okay? Like, I say number 6 Nude and I'm like, that has to be wrong. But I look at my top 5 and I like all those songs more. That's just how good this album is, okay? Nude is a breathtaking song. It has some of the best vocals you'll hear in the entire Radiohead discography. The chord progression makes you feel like you're ascending. It's tranquil, it's awe-inspiring, it's wonderful to listen to. I think It's the best of the more calm ballad tracks, and the outro on Nude is one of the best moments on the entire album. At number 5, we have All I Need, which is a surprising song, okay? You have this wonderful bass line that drives the song and adds to the somber feelings of the track. The second half comes in and it just explodes in your ears. There are very few musical moments that match that second half of All I Need for me. I get goosebumps every single time I listen to this song. It's not always at the same spot either. Like sometimes it's when the piano keys come in, or sometimes it's when Tom starts screaming his vocals passionately in the background. But for me, I think it's one of the best moments on the entire album, even if the first half isn't as interesting as the songs above it. I don't mean to cheat here, but I have to do this, okay? My top 4 changes almost every single day. I'm gonna just clarify that right now. I think all 4 of these songs are perfect 10 out of 10 songs. I'm not gonna argue semantics in the comments. If you're like, yeah, your number 4 is my number 1, I fully get it, okay? I will admit that now. I will gladly argue any of the songs below number 4. Just know that I think all 4 of these songs are perfect, okay? At number 4, we have Jigsaw Falling Into Place. This song, it has honestly, the word I came up with was finesse, okay? It just slowly and casually escalates the song rather than going for that all I need approach of exploding with energy. The instrumental moments when Tom drops out are always mind-boggling to me. They always do a good job of just casually escalating that song. If you click on the track and you're at like 20 seconds and you skip forward 2 minutes, the song, just the way it progresses is so natural. It's so sick. And the song consistently gets more interesting as it goes on. It honestly feels like a journey. So I think you have to put this high up. It's just utterly incredible. At number 3, we have 15 Step, which is just such a cool song. The 5/4 time signature is really, it's a punchy way to start the album. You click on the album and you're like, ooh, let me find the time. Like, it's already keeping you interested, keeping you invested. The key change in the last 30 seconds is just honestly impressive. I think the bass line driving the song, the vocal runs, the drum beat, all just amazing elements of the song. And they're super dynamic. I think the best moments on In Rainbows are those more dynamic moments that aren't sticking to the same thing. And 15 Step honestly keeps you on your toes with that dynamic aspect. All right, at number 2, we have Body Snatchers. And this was the first song I fell in love with on In Rainbows. And I don't think it's hard to see why. It has such a drive and energy to it that's more in line with Radiohead's previous rock ventures. I think some of the drum fills on this thing are mind-blowing, which is hilarious because I've listened to this song probably over 100 times at this point, and I still lose my mind when I'm hearing these drum fills. Again, okay, I think another thing that separates this song from the others is that casual finesse in the building of the song. I think 15 Step does a better job of keeping you on your toes, but Body Snatcher says, forget that, we're pushing you onto your feet, okay? There's no balancing act. It's, okay, I'm getting blown away by how this thing builds. I think the riff on the guitar is killer. I think the vocals are phenomenal. And I think the drums, the drum groove, is one of the best in the entire catalog. And then at number 1, I think fairly agreeable pick, I have Weird Fishes / Arpeggi. I will never be able to comprehend how a group of people made this song. It's obviously presented as two different songs in the title, but it feels so cohesive. Okay, you have in the first half one of the prettiest chord progressions on the entire album, and that's the Weird Fishes portion. And Tom just kind of slots in with those floaty vocals. It's a euphoric listen. One of the best of the more calm moments on the record. And then there is a flawless transition into arpeggi, which just rocks. The rest of the song is so cool. It has this drum pattern that's almost drum and bass adjacent. And Tom drops to this more calm, more laid back vocal style. It's this weird dichotomy of the song is a lot more energetic and frantic, but Tom is more laid back and calm. And it's so cool. I don't think you can really describe this song to someone who's never heard the whole thing. So if you haven't listened to it, you got to get on that. This is one of the best songs ever made, in my opinion. Especially like just how clean it is from that first half to that second half. Both are equally perfect, in my opinion. It's one of the cleanest rock songs I think I'll ever listen to. That's my In Rainbows rankings. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see your lists. Any major disagreements you may have. I love discussing this stuff. If you want to influence the next worst to best, please feel free to leave a comment or join my Discord server, and we host polls in there. So feel free to vote on any of the polls. But yeah, that's my In Rainbows ranking. Next week will be Jane Remover's Frailty. But after that, okay, I'm taking viewers' comments. Feel free to leave any below. And yeah, click my left or right for more videos. I will see you in the next video. Peace.